On the morning of December 27, 2016, the world mourned the loss of Carrie Fisher, the actress, writer, and icon who had captivated generations as Princess Leia Organa. Amid the tributes pouring in from fans and celebrities alike, a peculiar and poetic detail surfaced, a handwritten note found by her brother, Todd Fisher. It read, "I am dead, how are you?" Equal parts haunting and humorous, it was the kind of darkly witty remark that defined Carrie Fisher's unique personality. Even in death, she managed to leave a trail of irony and introspection, a reflection of the life she lived in the spotlight and behind the scenes. For many, Carrie Fisher will always be synonymous with Princess Leia, a fierce, determined rebel who inspired millions of fans across galaxies, real and fictional. The iconic double-bun hairstyle, the sharp wit, and the courage to lead against all odds cemented her place as one of Hollywood's most enduring cultural figures. But Fisher was far more than the image that Star Wars immortalized. She was a Hollywood legacy, an acclaimed writer, a fearless mental health advocate, and an unapologetically candid storyteller who transformed her struggles into art. Carrie Fisher's life was as complex and captivating as any story told in the galaxy far, far away. It was a tapestry of brilliance and tragedy, woven with humor and humanity. In her 60 years, she transcended the confines of stardom to become a symbol of resilience and authenticity, proving that the best heroes are those who embrace their flaws and vulnerabilities. Through this narrative, we'll journey through the many dimensions of Carrie Fisher's life, exploring the triumphs, trials, and secrets of a star who dared to shine unapologetically, even in her darkest moments. Carrie Frances Fisher came into the world on October 21, 1956, destined for a life in the spotlight. Born in Beverly Hills, California, she was the daughter of two of Hollywood's brightest stars, Debbie Reynolds, the dazzling actress and singer of Singin' in the Rain fame, and Eddie Fisher, one of the most celebrated crooners of his time. From the moment of her birth, Carrie was steeped in the glitz and glamour of show business, but this legacy came with its own set of challenges. Behind the facade of the perfect Hollywood family lay turbulence. When Carrie was just 2 years old, her parents' marriage crumbled in one of the most scandalous divorces of the era. Eddie Fisher left Debbie Reynolds for Elizabeth Taylor, a betrayal that was splashed across tabloids and captivated the nation. For young Carrie, this public spectacle marked the beginning of her uneasy relationship with fame. The spotlight that illuminated her family also cast shadows on her childhood, making it difficult for her to find a sense of normalcy. Amidst the chaos, Carrie discovered a sanctuary: books. She devoured everything she could get her hands on, from poetry to classic literature, earning her the affectionate nickname the Bookworm from those who knew her well. Reading provided her an escape from the pressures of her famous lineage and the public's expectations. It also hinted at her future as a writer, planting the seeds for the sharp wit and incisive storytelling that would later define her voice. Despite her attempts to carve out a life away from the entertainment world, show business was inescapable. At 16, Carrie joined her mother on stage in a Broadway revival of Irene. The experience marked her first taste of performing, and though she felt overshadowed by her mother's star power, it sparked a curiosity about acting. Shortly after, she made her film debut in Hal Ashby's 1975 satirical comedy Shampoo. In the role of a flirtatious teenager, Fisher's performance revealed a spark of charisma and charm that hinted at the extraordinary career to come. Carrie's entrance into acting felt both inevitable and unexpected. As much as she resisted following in her parents' footsteps, the allure of storytelling, whether through literature or performance, was too strong to ignore. These early experiences laid the foundation for the dynamic and multifaceted career that would make her an icon in her own right. When Carrie Fisher auditioned for Star Wars, it seemed like just another role in a galaxy far, far away from the cultural phenomenon it would become. The part of Princess Leia almost wasn't hers. Jodie Foster was initially favored for the role, but scheduling conflicts left the door open for Fisher. Despite her Hollywood lineage, landing the part wasn't easy. George Lucas, the film's creator, saw something in Carrie that went beyond her youthful beauty. She possessed a sharp wit, undeniable intelligence, and an air of authority that made her the perfect fit for the self-assured princess-turned-rebel leader. Still, stepping into Leia's boots wasn't without its challenges. The entertainment industry's unrelenting scrutiny loomed over her from the start. Even before cameras rolled, Carrie was advised to lose weight for the role, an experience she later described with biting humor as her introduction to Hollywood's obsession with perfection. The pressure only intensified during production, as she faced constant critiques of her appearance, which were magnified by the groundbreaking visual effects and close-up shots that defined Star Wars. When Star Wars hit theaters in 1977, it became a cultural juggernaut overnight, and so did Princess Leia. The role catapulted Fisher to international fame, making her the object of admiration for millions. However, the adoration came with its own set of challenges. Fisher found herself typecast, with audiences and casting directors struggling to see her as anything other than Leia Organa. She later joked, "I signed my likeness away for free for all eternity," a nod to the merchandising empire built around her character. Behind the scenes, Carrie's relationship with Leia was as complicated as the character herself. She famously detested Leia's double-bun hairstyle, describing it as looking like earmuffs and wondering if it would ruin her budding love life. And then there was the infamous gold bikini from Return of the Jedi. The skimpy costume became an iconic image of Leia, though Fisher openly criticized its impracticality and the uncomfortable vulnerability it imposed on her. She wryly remarked years later, "What redeems it is that I got to strangle Jabba the Hutt in the end. That was my favorite scene." In her memoir, The Princess Diarist, Fisher revealed even more about her time as Leia, including the bittersweet reality of life on the Star Wars set. The book detailed her whirlwind affair with co-star Harrison Ford, a story that fascinated fans but also illuminated the loneliness she often felt despite her rising fame. Fisher's memoir also reflected on her ambivalence toward Leia. She loved the strength and resolve the character represented, but sometimes struggled under the weight of the expectations and limitations that came with the role. For Fisher, playing Leia was a double-edged sword. While the character brought her immense recognition and a place in cinematic history, it also tethered her to a persona that overshadowed her other talents. Yet, through her humor and candor, she embraced Leia as part of her legacy, transforming the challenges of typecasting into an opportunity to redefine herself as both an actress and a writer. Carrie Fisher's life behind the camera was as dramatic and complex as the galaxy-spanning tales she helped bring to life. One of the most sensational revelations in Fisher's memoir, The Princess Diarist, was her affair with co-star Harrison Ford during the filming of Star Wars. Their romance lasted 3 months, a whirlwind of stolen moments and quiet passion. At the time, Ford was married with children, and Fisher, just 19 years old, was navigating her first brush with international fame. In her writings, she described the relationship with a mix of humor and wistfulness, calling herself inexperienced and starstruck by the older, charismatic Ford. The affair profoundly shaped her view of herself and her relationships. Decades later, Fisher reflected on it with the same raw honesty that defined her personality. While she avoided casting blame or regret, the experience became a cornerstone of her understanding of Hollywood's complexities and the fleeting nature of on-set connections. While her chemistry with Ford was undeniable, Fisher also shared a unique bond with Mark Hamill, her Star Wars sibling. Their camaraderie both on and off screen was full of laughter, pranks, and late-night conversations. In interviews, Fisher confessed that there was fleeting romantic tension between them, but the timing was never right. "We could have been a thing," she mused, though she quickly added that their platonic relationship became a source of strength during the pressures of filming. Fisher often joked about her what-if thoughts regarding Hamill, but in the end, their friendship endured for decades. Their shared experience as Leia and Luke cemented a connection that felt more like family than romance, a bond that both actors cherished deeply. Carrie Fisher's battles with addiction began during the filming of The Empire Strikes Back. Hollywood's relentless pressures, combined with her own insecurities, led her to self-medicate with drugs and alcohol. Her use escalated during her 20s and 30s, culminating in a near-fatal overdose that became a wake-up call. Fisher later admitted that her substance abuse was a way to quiet the internal chaos she felt, a coping mechanism for the challenges of fame and personal struggles. Her eventual diagnosis of bipolar disorder was a turning point. Fisher described it as both a relief and a burden, offering clarity about her mood swings and erratic behavior, but also confronting her with the lifelong challenge of managing the condition. In typical Fisher fashion, she approached her diagnosis with humor, famously saying, "I am mentally ill. I can say that. I'm not ashamed of that. I survived that." By sharing her journey publicly, Fisher became an advocate for mental health awareness, breaking down stigmas and inspiring countless others to seek help. Her raw, unfiltered accounts of her experiences with addiction and bipolar disorder were a revelation, offering both comfort and solidarity to those facing similar battles. Through her struggles, Carrie Fisher remained fiercely honest and unapologetically herself. Her ability to find humor in her darkest moments, whether recounting her time in rehab or describing her manic episodes, was a testament to her resilience. While the scandals and struggles marked her life with difficulty, they also highlighted her courage and the unshakable humanity that made her a beloved figure far beyond her role as Leia. While Carrie Fisher is best known for her iconic role as Princess Leia, her passion for storytelling extended far beyond the screen. Her sharp wit and incisive humor, honed through years of personal trials and triumphs, found their fullest expression in her work as a writer. Fisher's transition from acting to writing wasn't just a career shift, it was a reclamation of her voice and a reflection of her creative brilliance. Fisher's love for storytelling was evident from a young age, nurtured by her voracious appetite for reading. She once said, "Writing is the only thing that will outlast me," signaling how deeply she valued her literary contributions. After years of living in the public eye, she turned to writing as a means of making sense of her tumultuous life, channeling her experiences into vivid narratives that resonated with humor and pathos. Her debut novel, Postcards from the Edge, 1987, was a semi-autobiographical masterpiece that blurred the line between fact and fiction. The story followed Suzanne Vale, an actress grappling with drug addiction and a complicated relationship with her mother, parallels to Fisher's own life that were impossible to ignore. The novel was a critical and commercial success, praised for its sharp dialogue, unflinching honesty, and biting humor. It became a bestseller and established Fisher as a formidable literary talent. Postcards from the Edge was later adapted into a film in 1990 with a screenplay written by Fisher herself. The movie, starring Meryl Streep and Shirley MacLaine, was a poignant yet comedic exploration of addiction, recovery, and mother-daughter relationships. Fisher's ability to craft layered, authentic characters shone brightly in the adaptation, earning her accolades as both a screenwriter and storyteller. Fisher went on to publish several other books, including Surrender the Pink, Delusions of Grandma, and Wishful Drinking, each infused with her trademark wit and autobiographical undertones. Her memoir, The Princess Diarist, offered a candid glimpse into her time on Star Wars and her personal life, solidifying her reputation as a writer unafraid to confront her past with humor and vulnerability. Beyond her novels and memoirs, Fisher became one of Hollywood's most sought-after script doctors, a role that utilized her sharp ear for dialogue and knack for improving narratives. During the 1990s, she quietly contributed to some of the industry's most iconic films, enhancing scripts for Hook, Sister Act, The Wedding Singer, and even the Star Wars prequels. Fisher's contributions often went uncredited, but her impact was undeniable. She had a unique ability to inject humor and emotional depth into scenes, breathing life into characters and elevating storytelling. Directors and producers admired her no-nonsense approach and her gift for refining scripts without overshadowing the original vision. While script doctoring kept her deeply connected to the film industry, Fisher often joked about the anonymity of the work. "It's like being the plumber at the Hollywood party," she quipped. "No one wants to admit they needed you, but they're glad you came." Carrie Fisher's writing revealed dimensions of her personality that extended far beyond her role as Leia. Whether crafting novels, memoirs, or polishing Hollywood scripts, her words were always authentic, laced with humor, and deeply human. For Fisher, writing wasn't just a career, it was a way to navigate the complexities of her life and leave an indelible mark on the world. Through her literary and scriptwriting endeavors, Fisher proved that her creativity and brilliance weren't confined to a galaxy far, far away. They were firmly rooted in the rich tapestry of her life, offering insight, laughter, and connection to all who encountered her work. Carrie Fisher's personal life was as tumultuous as her professional career was dazzling. Her romantic relationships were marked by passion, intensity, and often heartbreak. Despite the highs and lows, Fisher embraced her experiences with her characteristic blend of wit and self-awareness, crafting stories from her pain and humor from her vulnerability. Fisher's relationship with singer-songwriter Paul Simon was a profound and complex chapter in her life. The two met in 1977 and were drawn to each other by their shared intelligence and artistic sensibilities. Their love was electric, but also fraught with conflict. The couple married in 1983, but the union was short-lived. They divorced less than a year later. Despite the breakup, their bond endured, and they continued an on-again, off-again relationship for years. Simon's song, Hearts and Bones, is said to have been inspired by their turbulent romance, with lyrics capturing both the depth of their connection and the pain of their struggles. Fisher later described their relationship as a collision of two exceptional egos, acknowledging that their intensity was both their strength and their undoing. During a brief split from Simon, Fisher found herself in a whirlwind romance with actor Dan Aykroyd. The two met while filming The Blues Brothers and quickly grew close. Aykroyd proposed after a life-threatening incident where Fisher choked on food and he performed the Heimlich maneuver, saving her life. Though their engagement was filled with warmth and laughter, Fisher eventually returned to Simon, unable to let go of her deep emotional ties to him. Reflecting on her time with Aykroyd, she affectionately called him a wonderful man and spoke fondly of his kindness and humor. Perhaps the most heartbreaking chapter in Fisher's romantic life was her relationship with talent agent Brian Lord. The two were together for several years and had a daughter, Billie Lord, in 1992. Fisher envisioned a future with Lord, but their relationship came to an abrupt end when he left her for another man. The betrayal was a painful echo of her childhood, mirroring her father Eddie Fisher's infamous abandonment of her mother Debbie Reynolds for Elizabeth Taylor. Carrie, ever candid about her life, remarked that Lord's departure reinforced her sense of déjà vu when it came to love and loss. She later joked, "He didn't leave me for another woman, he left me for another man. If I'd known he was gay, I'd have married him anyway." Throughout her life, Fisher's romantic relationships were a recurring theme of longing and heartbreak. She often fell for intense creative men, forming bonds that were as passionate as they were volatile. Despite the pain, Fisher never lost her sense of humor or her capacity for introspection. She saw her romantic misadventures as part of the larger story of her life, embracing the lessons they offered. Fisher's reflections on love often revealed her vulnerability. In interviews and memoirs, she described how her desire for connection sometimes clashed with her independence and resilience. Yet, she also found strength in her ability to endure heartbreak and transform it into art. For Fisher, love was a galaxy of experiences, bright stars of joy and dark voids of sorrow. Through it all, she navigated the twists and turns with a blend of humor, grace, and self-awareness that endeared her to fans and friends alike. Carrie Fisher's final years were marked by a triumphant return to the galaxy that had first catapulted her to fame and a poignant reflection on life, legacy, and mortality. It was a chapter that underscored her resilience, humor, and unique place in Hollywood and the hearts of fans worldwide. In 2015, Fisher reprised her iconic role as Princess Leia, now General Leia Organa, in Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Decades after her original portrayal, her return was met with a mix of nostalgia and anticipation from fans. For Fisher, the decision to step back into Leia's boots was both exciting and challenging. Returning to the role meant revisiting the legacy that had defined her career while navigating the physical and emotional demands of acting. Fisher faced criticism from some corners of the internet regarding her appearance, but she responded with her trademark wit. "My body hasn't aged as well as I have." Her ability to confront ageism with humor and candor resonated deeply, especially among women in Hollywood who admired her unapologetic authenticity. Fisher's return also provided her a platform to critique the industry's obsession with youth and beauty. She openly discussed the pressures placed on women to maintain an unattainable standard, especially as they aged. Reflecting on her own experience, she remarked, "They want me to look like I did when I was in a metal bikini, but I'd rather write or laugh at myself than chase after something that's gone." This unfiltered honesty made Fisher a relatable and empowering figure for fans who admired her ability to embrace aging on her own terms. She used her platform to challenge outdated norms and advocate for authenticity in an industry often dominated by illusion. On December 23, 2016, Fisher suffered a cardiac arrest on a flight from London to Los Angeles. She was returning from a European book tour promoting her memoir, The Princess Diarist, which offered candid insights into her life and career. Passengers and medics attempted to revive her, and she was rushed to a hospital upon landing. 4 days later, on December 27th, Fisher passed away at the age of 60. Her sudden death sent shockwaves through the entertainment world and left fans mourning the loss of a beloved icon. Adding to the heartbreak, her mother Debbie Reynolds died just 1 day later, reportedly saying, "I want to be with Carrie." In the wake of her passing, Fisher's brother Todd Fisher revealed the existence of a mysterious and poetic note she had written years earlier. The note read, "I am dead. How are you?" Todd described the note as an eerie reflection of Carrie's unique blend of humor, self-awareness, and prescience. This small piece of writing encapsulated the essence of Fisher's life and legacy, a woman who confronted her struggles with unflinching honesty, found humor in darkness, and lived as both an artist and a survivor. The note served as a reminder of her ability to turn pain into poetry and laughter into healing. Though Fisher's physical presence was gone, her legacy lived on. Star Wars: The Last Jedi, released posthumously in 2017, served as a fitting farewell to General Leia, and in many ways, to Carrie herself. Her final scenes carried a poignant weight as fans around the world said goodbye to both the character and the actress who had brought her to life. In the years following her death, Fisher's influence only grew. She became a symbol of resilience, humor, and authenticity, a reminder that life, with all its imperfections, can still be extraordinary. Her story, like the galaxy far, far away, would continue to inspire for generations to come. Carrie Fisher's impact transcended her iconic role as Princess Leia, leaving a legacy defined by wit, resilience, and her unflinching honesty about life's complexities. Her influence as an actress, writer, and advocate extended far beyond the silver screen, touching the lives of countless fans and inspiring meaningful change in the world. Fisher's sharp wit and self-deprecating humor became hallmarks of her public persona. Whether during interviews or at public events, she had a knack for turning even the darkest topics into moments of levity. In one memorable instance, she joked about the infamous Star Wars gold bikini, calling it what supermodels will eventually wear in the seventh circle of hell. When discussing her struggles with addiction and mental illness, she quipped, "I am mentally ill. I can say that. I am not ashamed of that. I survived that. I'm still surviving it." Her ability to laugh at herself and her circumstances endeared her to fans and made her a relatable figure. Fisher showed that it was possible to embrace imperfections, turning vulnerability into strength and laughter into healing. One of Fisher's most enduring contributions was her advocacy for mental health awareness. Diagnosed with bipolar disorder in her early 20s, she spent much of her life speaking openly about her experiences with the condition, as well as her battles with addiction. Her candor broke down stigmas surrounding mental illness, particularly at a time when such topics were rarely discussed publicly. Fisher's memoirs, including Wishful Drinking, Shockaholic, and The Princess Diarist, offered raw and humorous insights into her journey, normalizing conversations about mental health. She used her platform to encourage others to seek help and embrace their own stories. As she famously said, "At times, being bipolar can be an all-consuming challenge, requiring a lot of stamina and even more courage. So, if you're living with this illness and functioning at all, it's something to be proud of, not ashamed of." For fans, Fisher's openness and resilience were nothing short of transformative. Many credited her with giving them the courage to confront their own struggles. At conventions and public events, she often received heartfelt letters and personal stories from admirers who found solace in her words. Her family, too, reflected her indomitable spirit. Her daughter, Billie Lourd, has carried on her legacy, describing Fisher as both her hero and her mother. "She wasn't just my mom," Lourd once said. "She was the bravest, funniest, and most brutally honest woman I've ever known." Carrie Fisher's life was proof that heroes exist beyond the realms of fantasy. She showed that strength isn't about flawless appearances or effortless success, but about confronting challenges with courage, humor, and grace. Her legacy continues to shine brightly, inspiring those who face their own struggles and reminding the world that even in its messiest, most chaotic moments, life can still be extraordinary. Fisher's story is a testament to the enduring power of authenticity, proving that her light will outlast the stars. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the extraordinary life and legacy of Carrie Fisher. What part of her journey inspired you the most? Do you have a favorite Carrie Fisher moment, on or off the screen? Share your insights and reflections in the comments below. We're excited to start a conversation with you. If you want more incredible stories like this about Hollywood icons, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and may the Force always be with you.